The kit to complete the 8-speed conversion on your Bushwacker should come with the following parts: a shift cable housing, shifter trigger, new axle, derailleur, new grips for your handlebars, 2 frame chips, hardware, and a new rear wheel itself. The first step to completing your conversion will be to remove the rear frame chips from the frame using a 4mm Allen wrench and removing the 4 Allen bolts on the frame chips, and then replacing them with the ones provided in the conversion kit. These chips can be stubborn, so don't give up hope. Now we install the new frame chips with the provided hardware. Our next step will be to install the derailleur onto the frame chip that we installed on the previous step, making sure when putting the bolt in that your adjustment screw is above this little notch right here. This will require a 5mm Allen tool. This cable housing needs to be removed. So remove anything that is on the cable and cut any zip ties and slide it off the end of the cable. Now we head up to the handlebars and we're going to remove our shifter and our handle grips with a 3mm Allen wrench. We're going to slide the shifter off the end of the handlebar and pull the cable out of the housing. We will be reusing the housing and feeding our new shifter cable through it. Now that your old shifter is removed, we'll take the new shifter, uncoil the cable, and we'll very slightly put our shifter onto the handlebars, using that to our advantage while we slide the cable into the housing so that it comes out the back of the bike. Now the cable has reached the shift sensor. We'll go ahead and pull the cable so we have slack and go ahead and feed it through our shift sensor. Our shift cable and shifter are now installed. You will need to slightly adjust your throttle and brake lever to the inside just a little bit for this to make sure that everything fits. We'll go ahead and take the new hand grip and slide it on until it is flush with the end of the handlebar. Like so. And then tighten with a 3mm Allen wrench. And then insert the provided cap. Now that we have the grip on, we can go ahead and then adjust our shifter angle, and then tighten down our brake lever and our throttle as well. Now we install the shifter cable housing in the rear. You slide it in over the cable, and then you secure on the frame right here with a zip tie, trimming off any excess. Now that you have your rear shifter cable installed, we're going to go ahead and hook it up to the rear derailleur. What you're going to want to do is you're going to rotate it upwards, take your cable, curve it over, and slide it in to the housing holder. Then there's a little line underneath this tab, and you're going to want to put your cable under there and tighten down this screw with a 5mm Allen. Now it's time to go ahead and install our rear tire. We're going to start by putting it inside the frame towards the bottom. And we're going to put our brakes into the caliper and spread our frame out a little bit and rotate it upward into position. Once lined up, you can go ahead and put in your new axle. And in order to tighten the axle, you're going to need to rotate your locking lever and put it in the little slot so you can rotate the axle. You'll also need to grab a 15mm wrench and take off this nut, as it does get in the way when tightening the rear axle. And now your rear axle is installed. Go ahead and reinstall the nut that you removed for clearance to tighten your axle. Now it's time to go ahead and install the chain that was supplied in your conversion kit. You'll want to take your chain, run it through the frame, and lay it down across the crank with the pedals on it. And as you come down to this side, you'll want to lay it in on one of the sprockets that is on the rear cassette. And after doing that, you'll need to go down, and there's another sprocket under here that you'll need to rotate it around to the bottom side so that it rides on that idler gear. And then after you put it on that gear, you're going to want to feed the chain up through the bottom of the derailleur so that it will ride onto this sprocket on the bottom of your derailleur. Once your chain is laid out on the bike like this, or in a similar fashion, you take your included master link, and it will fit on the bike in a fashion like this, so that they kind of cross each other and will snap together. You'll start by sticking the pin into the chain and then doing the exact opposite direction on the other side of the chain. You'll then extend your derailleur, put the master links in, put the master link pieces together in a closer fashion so that they pop together, and when you pull it apart, it will snap together and lock in position. You have now officially completed the installation of your chain.